Welcome to Saptarishi Astrology channel. My name is Sarita Kulkarni and today's topic is Mercury Retrograde in Ashlesha Nakshatra. So we are going to analyze this transit for all the ascendant and we are going to see how this energy is panning out in each sign also. So before going further, we need to understand the meaning of retrograde here. So what does Vakri means or a retrograde means? Retrograde technically means when a planet appears to be in reversal mode or coming towards the Earth. Any planet actually never comes closer to Earth, but it is an angular distance that is perceiving or that is giving us a perception that it is coming back towards Earth, or that is a perception a being on Earth figures it out. Now, what does it do? A planet is closer to Earth means we are going to feel its energy very powerfully or very intensely or very closely. That is the meaning. Now, how it affects in our day-to-day life. Let's take an example for this. Let's imagine you do not have a good harmonious relationship with any of your relative. Let's take mother-in-law. And in usual condition, you try to escape such a situation in your life where you cannot deal with that person. You try to escape, you don't want to, or you avoid actually. But in this retrograde time period, just imagine if that person comes to you and live with you for, let's say, 10 days or 12 days. And then what will happen? There will be two consequences. Either you will make something good out of it, or the situation will get worse now. So you have two choices in this retrograde time period. Either you can learn to handle that energy and deal it with once and for all, or it will become more worse. So choice is yours. Now, in simple words, also we can say it is an unpleasant situation which you usually don't want to deal with in your life. But the retrograde planet forces you to deal with it. And it could be in both good ways or bad way. So this is a small or simple understanding about retrograde. Be it any planet, so that planet, whatever that planet signifies in your chart, will give you that type of flavor in your life. That is the simple meaning of it. So let's start our presentation here. I'm gonna share the presentation now. Now let's see. Mercury retrograde in Ashlesha Nakshatra. The Gochar is in Cancer Rashi and it is happening from July 26, 2018 to August 19, 2018. Now, from this transit, what is a takeaway point for you? Ashlesha Nakshatra simply means inflicting poison into the other's life or inflicting poison. So now there is a situation in your life where you need to deal with that poison. Now you have two options: either play a victim's role or transform that area. So this transit, that short period of retrogression, is giving you an opportunity to transform that area or be a victim. Now let's have a quick look on Ashlesha Nakshatra features here. The Visha Ashleshan Shakti directly related to the Kundalini Shakti. So this nakshatra has a power to activate your Kundalini Shakti, to activate your chakras. The symbol signifies the ability to go in upward direction. Now, if you see the images here, these images shows it is a coiled serpent. The second image is a wheel, and the third image is a circle where you can do a concentration level. So this particular image is used for increasing your concentration point in your life. So sometimes for dealing a problem, you need a high level of concentration to to concentrate on that particular thought, which can lead you to find a solution actually. So this nakshatra, being sattvic by nature, the qualities of this nakshatra is a bit contradictory, which is a point why. Journey from Mooladhar to Sahasrar. So that is a base energy, base chakra, and each chakra has different types of qualities or manifestation in our life. So unless we don't witness our dark areas or negative traits or positive traits, we don't get any type of experience. And unless we don't get any type of experience, we cannot embrace the positive and negative side. So we need to go through it to embrace that energy. So what is Mercury retrograde here? Mercury retrograde simply means, but before that, we need to understand what Mercury signifies here. Mercury is a planet of communication. Mercury signifies your intelligence, your talking skills, your speech. Mercury signifies nerves. Mercury also signifies the way of communication, the nerves, the skin. So this retrograde Mercury here signifies out-of-box thinking. So in this time period, you really need to think out of box to come out of the situation, or you need to go beyond the box actually to come out of that situation, because it is Mercury is your brain, Mercury is your intelligence, it is the power of expression. Now this retrograde Mercury also can create a pressure in your intelligence or in your thought process, so you need to deal with that. So you may feel a lack of perception also, but this is all will happen in the starting period. Any retrogression is like, little bit foggy, little bit cloudy, but later on you get clear thoughts, because you are getting that energy close to you, because the perception is closer to earth. Now you may also feel stubbornness, the intensity is also high. You may have some strong views about it, which you have to work on. That strong view might be good for you or maybe not good for you. So you need to understand and analyze that. There will be a critical analysis also, maybe on yourself or people will do to you, because whatever Mercury is signifying in your chart, that those people, those relationship, all these are going to get affected, and they will create an impact for you, or they already have created impact, and now you have to deal with that impact once and for all. So now let's start with our presentation here for all the ascendants, how this nakshatra transit, Mercury retrograde transit in Ashlesha Nakshatra will pan out for each ascendant. The first is Aries ascendant, that is Mesha Lagna. Here, Mercury is retrograde in Ashlesha Nakshatra in Cancer sign, in the 4th house of your mother, 4th house of your comfort zone, 4th house of your happiness. So you may have some issues with your mother, and now you have to deal with that. So some type of miscommunication or some problem is there, which you have to address and bring a solution for once and for all, because this is happening in Cancer Rashi. Now here also I would like to say something, that Mercury retrograde, any planet retrograde when happen in any Rashi, the base of that Rashi means the element Panchamahahuta plays a very significant role. Now here this transit is happening in Cancer, that is a watery sign. Water has a tendency to preserve, water has a tendency to store. So water also signifies past, water also signifies your emotions, sensitivity. So this Mercury retrograde is dealing with your emotional aspect more, sensitivity aspect more, your past events more. So you need to understand that in the whole transit, you have to address those areas, and you have to bring solution. Now Mercury, two signs, that is Gemini and the Virgo. So Gemini happen to be in the 3rd house of your sibling, third house of your efforts, third house of your valor. So definitely, again, short travels also. So this might be on your card. This can event related to this can happen. Siblings, so this might be a chance for you, or siblings may suddenly come to you, because retrogression signifies those people are coming closer to you. If you don't want to deal with them, still you don't have any choice. They are going to come, or they will that sudden event will happen in your life. So here, for Mesh ascendant, the four houses are getting activated. That is your fourth house, that is third house, sixth house, and your 10th house. So I already talked about fourth house, third house. So sixth house is about your daily routine. Sixth house is about your debts. So you have to deal with your loans, your enemies, your routine. And the 10th house is your career. So career and career related matters. Now for Taurus ascendant. For Taurus ascendant, Mercury retrograde in Ashlesha Nakshatra happened to be in your third house of siblings, third house of your short travels, third house of your unlocking of karma. So it might be possible that whichever deeds or whichever past events you have done, you might have left them incomplete, and now they will come in front of you, or they will appear suddenly in front of you, and then you have to deal with that. For example, you might be avoiding some travel, and suddenly now you don't have choice and you have to go. So it is also aspecting your ninth house of your father, so you may have to deal with your father also. So there might be some miscommunication or a misunderstanding. You have to deal with that. The Virgo sign is in your fifth house of children, fifth house of your talent, fifth house of your Purva Punya. So events related to this house is also on cards. So some events where you may have some communication or some past events which are not good, or you have to deal, and you are avoiding such events with your children. So you have to deal with that. So this is for Taurus ascendant. Now for Gemini ascendant. So Gemini ascendant, it happened to be the Mithuna Rashi, that is your Mercurian sign. So you have to work on yourself first, because it is ascendant. So Lagna Lord itself is getting affected here. So Lagna Lord, that is Mercury and the sign. So you have to groom yourself now. You have to go back. You have to introspect your own behavioral pattern, thinking pattern, thought process, and you have to set boundaries for yourself. Talk to yourself, because this is more closer look. This transit will give you more closer look to your own lackings, your weaknesses, loopholes. Now, Mercury happened to be in your second house, in Ashlesha Nakshatra. So second house is your food. Second house is your speech. So be specific in your speech. Be specific in your what type of words you're using with others. Be specific, or the type of food you are choosing to eat. And the eighth house is also getting aspect here. So eighth house is your sudden thing. So eighth house is also your subconscious mind. So you need to deal with your subconscious negative traits, or subconscious memories which are bothering you from long time. Because this retrogression is happening in your water sign, so it is demanding you to address your past deeds, or past emotional relationship, or the cribbings which you are facing, and they bothers you. So fourth house is also getting affected, because Mercurian sign, that is the Gemini and the Virgo, it happened to be in your first house and the fourth house. So fourth house of mother, fourth house of your happiness is also getting affected. So you need to deal with that too. Now for Cancer ascendant. For Cancer ascendant, this transit is happening in the Lagna itself. And again, same as Gemini ascendant, this is a time to work on your nature, work on yourself, work on your own fears, your own lackings. Because now the time, this is a time which is giving you an insight that you have to, whatever you have been avoiding in your life now, the fears or the, you know, those relationship or the unsolved problems, now is the time to address it. Now, Mercury sign here, that is Gemini, and the Virgo happen to be in your 12th house of 12th house of your dream, 12th house of your sleep. So you may get in starting period, you may feel that this is a turmoil period, or you're draining out, or you have lot of thoughts and you are not able to concentrate. But buckle up yourself and compose your energy, and think about that particular thought which is bothering you for a long time, and work on it. You may get in, clues in your dreams while you're sleeping, because this happened to be in your 12th house of sleep, 12th house of your dreams. Third house is your also communication. So third house is your also the siblings. So communication specifically, so writing mails is also your third house. So try to be very specific, try to be straightforward, upfront when you are sending emails. Don't use may or may not be specific while you are writing, and be short also. Now, seventh house is also getting affected, because Mercury from first house is aspecting your 10th house of, seventh house of your spouse, seventh house of your partner. So try to establish the conversation which you have not done so far in, or you have avoided. So this is a time to make that relationship work out more. Now, for Leo ascendant. For Leo ascendant, Mercury transit and Ashlesha, retrograde Mercury transit in Ashlesha Nakshatra happen to be in your 12th house of sleep, 12th house of your dream, 12th house of your cage actually. So this might be a time period where you will feel that, you know, so many thoughts are there and so many turmoils are there. Your intelligence is hijacked and you are feeling low. So don't feel that. Now is the time. This retrogression will give you an insight, will give you a power also to handle it, to how to deal with it. Second house of your speech, second house of your food, second house of your relatives. So this is also getting affected here, influenced here. So you need to work on that aspect also. Then 11th house, where the Gemini sign is. 11th house is your hopes and desires, hopes and your spouse and family. So if you're married, then definitely the people from your spouse, they are also demanding something from you that you have been avoiding, or you have been ignoring for a long time. So this is a time period, or they might come suddenly in front of you and you have to deal with that. So this is a time period you need to decide, either you will deal it or you will ruin it. So this is a time period where you can make it the best out of it actually. So again, your sixth house is also getting affected. Sixth house is your daily routine. Sixth house is your debts, your enemies. So this is a house which is getting affected. So this may demand some problems or some obstacles. So this is the time period you may feel helpless also, but you will find solution because they are closer to you. So sometimes when the image is closer to you, you may feel that you cannot see or you cannot think what to do. But when that image is little bit gone, so it means the time period when it is about to get direct, that time period, or once it get directed or progressive, then you will understand what that transit is and you can act upon it. For Virgo ascendant, again, it's a Lagna Lord, which is getting affected. So again, this is a time period for Virgo ascendant also to work on themselves, because it's a Lagnesh. And Mercury happened to be in your 11th house of spouse and family, 11th house of your network circle, 11th house of your contacts. So this is getting affected. So you may find some friend circle, some of your friends or some of your contacts suddenly appear in front of you, which you have been avoiding, or which you don't want to deal with, and they are there, and now you have to deal with that. So this is a time period to address that too. So and if you deal with that properly, because this is again happening in your water sign, so if you deal the emotional aspect, sensitive aspect nicely here, once and for all, this transit will bring good out of it, very good out of actually. So now Mercury from 11th house, it is aspecting your 5th house of your children, 5th house of your Purva Punya. So if you will attend that house nicely, or if you attend, if you deal that energy properly, or when you don't have any option and you do it as a dharma, then the exact in front opposite house gives you result, start giving you result. So 5th house of your children, so you may get some unexpected happiness from your children here. So for Libra ascendant, Mercury retrograde and Ashlesha Nakshatra happen to be in your 10th house of career, 10th house of your boss, 10th house of your any type of karma, actually, any type of deeds. So this is a time period where you need to where you need to be dutiful actually, because this time period is demanding you to be, keep aside the small miniature things which is affecting you, but on broader level it doesn't matter, your productivity is not coming out, so you need to address that too. It is aspecting your 4th house of your mother, 4th house of your happiness, 4th house of your comfort zone, your house also, your vehicle also. So the event related to that, sudden event also can happen to that. Now, the Mercurian sign, that is Virgo, happen to be in your 12th house of sleep, 12th house of cage, 12th house of your foreign, 12th house of your foreign residence also. So events related to these matters can suddenly show up. Now, the second sign, that is a Gemini sign. Gemini sign happen to be in your 9th house of long travels, 9th house of your father, 9th house of religion, 9th house of your future actually, and Bhagya also. So this is also getting affected, and this transit can give you a sudden results, sudden events in your life, because any retrogression in your life gives you a sudden, and you don't have any option to but to face it. So this is a actually simply put, we can say this: retrogression is something where you don't have some option, and you need to go with that option. So that sometimes that option turn out to be very good for you and turn out to be neutral, and later on you feel that okay, this was the result, but generally we don't observe that much and we just go with the flow actually. But this gives you an insight, at least what happened or what can happen, what is on cards. Now for Scorpio ascendant, Mercury, retrograde Mercury in Ashlesha Nakshatra happening to be in your 9th house of father, 9th house of your religion, 9th house of your dharma. So that is happening in your dharma trikon. So this is a time period where you have been demanded to act according to dharma, what dharma says, like, because being it happening on in the emotional sign, that is a watery sign, but still you need to be you need to be you need to play your duty, you need to perform your duty here. So even if your father is wrong, for example, because this house also signifies your father, so let's take an example. If you have some problem with your father, so this might be a time period that you need to be more matured and handle that situation. It is also your 3rd house of your spouse, so it might be possible the siblings of your spouse. So there are many from each each houses, we can see many significations. It's hard, it's very it's very hard to address each and every signification from the house. So General characters, general note, we can take some signification and talk about it. But even if the things are not happening with us, but things are happening around us which are affecting us, so not directly on us, but yeah, people we love or relationship we are in, they are also getting affected. So sometimes even the retrogression is not showing effect directly on us, but it's also showing effects around us. So the third house of, again, your communication, third house of your even the communication on your mails, or even the face-to-face communication or your efforts, these are also getting affected. So be wise and choose the words rightly here, and be short, specific. For even some travels can happen, and that travel can bring you change, and that travel is something which you have been avoiding, and that may happen. So the sign Mercurian sign, that is Gemini, happen to be in your 8th house. 8th house is again suddenness, uncertainty. So 8th house is also many things, like your spouse's earning, your spouse's self-earned money, or it is a Maraka house for your spouse also. Yeah, sudden uncertain things also. So these all can happen in that time period, suddenly in front of you. So you may feel that how to deal with that, but when some things are coming in front of you, they'll bring solution also. So for Sagittarius ascendant, the Mercury retrograde in Ashlesha Nakshatra is happening to be in your 8th house of your subconscious mind, 8th house of your uncertainty. So Ashlesha Nakshatra here, inflicting poison. So this is a time period, either you need to work on the stored memories, because Mercury is also memories. Mercury is also your past memories. So whatever memories you have stored till now, so please declutter it. Whichever memories are not required, once and for all, say goodbye to them, because this is a time period, it is happening in your water sign. So this opportunity will come again once the circle of the zodiac is over, and will come again to the water sign. So maybe the next water sign will be Pisces. Who knows, that Pisces will bring a different flavor. Scorpio will bring a different flavor, and Cancer is bringing you a different flavor. So these 3 water signs are going to bring a different flavor for you. So try and understand that now this is signifying the base is Cancer here. So all the emotion, all types of memories, all types of relationships, or these are which are from Cancerian background, those are going to get affected, and that is the area where you need to work on. So that is the area where you need to address the poisonous effect in your life, and declutter it, and find an antidote for it, and work on it. So the third, so Gemini sign happen to be in your 7th house, 7th house of your spouse, 7th house of your business, 7th house of your other people. So that is also getting affected. Plus your 10th house of career, 10th house of your karma, 10th house of all types of karma actually, and the your boss also. Now it happens to be your sixth Rashi. So wherever in all the ascendant, wherever the Virgo sign is getting affected, so it's is the by default Kundli, in the by default Kundli, that is a Kalapurush Kundli, it's a first Trika house. So definitely some problems may arise here, but this problem may bring you an opportunity to solve it actually once and for all. So do it. Now the second house is also getting affected. Second house is your speech. Second house is your food intake. Second house is your relatives. So it's a Maraka house also. So be aware while eating food or while dealing with your relatives. Be aware, be cautious, and this can turn out very good also. Now for Capricorn ascendant, Mercury in retrograde Mercury in Ashlesha Nakshatra happen to be in your 7th house of spouse, 7th house of your mass actually, majority of people, 7th house of your business, 7th house of your other people, or the person you are dealing with. So whoever the person you're dealing with, that is your 7th house, exactly in front of you. So that is also impacting you. That is also creating some impact on your intelligence level. So be wise to choose your association, your company, whom you are roaming with. So third house, here the Mercurian sign, that is Gemini, happen to be in your sixth house. So sixth house is getting affected, and sixth house is your daily routine. Sixth house is your hidden enemies. Sixth house is also your affair house, actually. So this might be a a time period where you will feel some turmoil on daily basis. There is some sudden element in your life, and you don't know how to deal with it. So, but take a long breath here, deep breath here, and think what is coming, what has come to you, and now how can you deal with it. So sometimes writing it down, it's also help you to cross this or helps you to find a solution. Now the ninth house of your father is also getting affected because the Virgo sign is there. So ninth house of your long journeys. So maybe some long journeys, long pending things are also going to get affected. Sixth house, I was saying about Gemini sign. So sixth house is your also pending karma. So some retrogression also brings you the element of clearing of your pending karma, actually. So that is also where you have done some that house itself is saying that there is some poisonous effect because it is happening in Ashlesha Nakshatra. So the flavor is you need to work on that poisonous effect, that is decluttering the sixth house element, sixth house significations. So whichever things are not required, just remove it, and keep only those relationship or those things in your daily routine which is required to you. Be focused. So for Aquarius ascendant, and now for Aquarius ascendant, two Trika houses are getting affected. So sixth and the eighth. So here, maybe for Aquarius ascendant, this Mercury transit or the retrograde Mercury transit is going to be little intense, more intense. So because two Trika houses are getting affected. So generally the Trika houses are termed to be bad, but I don't think that any house is bad. So if we think any house beyond good and bad, we exactly see that how that house is performing, how that house is panning out, actually. So if we bound them, or if we name them, then we are bounding their own capabilities, and we cannot explore more than that. So try not to bound them, and just be neutral and just see what that house is offering you. So here sixth house and eighth house is getting affected. So in sixth house is your pending karma. So this might be possible that this is a time period where some pending karma may arise in front of you suddenly, and then you will feel that you have to face them. Just you don't have any option, but suddenly something is coming in front of you, some relationship suddenly appeared in front of you, and then you have to be in that relationship, or fulfill and then go. So the chapter is closed. So this time period may give you such events also. It is also aspecting your 12th house of your sleep, 12th house of your foreign, 12th house of your dreams also. So you may find some weird dreams, you may find some abstract dream also in that time period, which will gives you clue also how to deal with this period. Now fifth house of your children, fifth house of your purva punya, fifth house of your talent, fifth house of your creativity is also getting affected. So this is a time period where you will feel that many events or events related to these matters can happen, and then some of the events or some of the things are you are avoiding, and you need to address them, you need to identify them, and choose something and go with that. So this was for Aquarius ascendant. Now for Pisces ascendant. So for Pisces ascendant, Mercury retrograde in Ashlesha Nakshatra happened to be in your fifth house of Purva Punya, fifth house of your children, fifth house of your your creativity, your talent. So the events related to that house, or the energy of Ashlesha is giving you or offering you, there is a poisonous effect, or some sudden events are there which are unavoidable, but how to deal with that energy you will learn in this transit. So how to deal with that emotions, or how to deal with those uh, flukes, this transit will give you that opportunity to understand it. It is aspecting your 11th house of your network circle, 11th house of your family and spouse. So this energy, this energy will give you an opportunity to understand that house too. Again, your 4th house of your mother, 4th house of your comfort zone, 4th house of your uh, 4th house of your happiness is also getting affected here. 6th, the sign Virgo, which has happened to be in your 7th house, so that is also getting affected. So the four houses, that is your 5th house, your 3rd house, 5th house, 7th house, and the 11th house. So these houses are getting affected. These houses are getting activated. So events related to this are going to happen. So this was all about all the ascendant and the rashis. So for Mercury retrograde transit, just simply remember that whichever significations Mercury is carrying in your chart, you need to events related to that may happen and they may occur. So Mercury may signify 5th house of your children, or your spouse, your grandmother, your grandfather, your mother-in-law, or your boss, or your friend, or your lover, or yourself. So events related to these, whichever Mercury and sign are there, so they are going to get activated in this time period, and they are going to teach you, or give you a message how to deal with this Mercury retrograde transit here. So this was all about ascendant. So let's see some remedies here. Nag Panchami on 15th August 2018 happened to be before 3 days of Krishna Janmashtami. So you can worship, you can do the worshipping of Nag Panchami and do this. The ultimate remedy for this Mercury retrograde transition is chanting Vishnu Sahasranam. Chanting or listening to audios of Vishnu Sahasranam also can give you a soothing effect, or clarity in your mind, a peacefulness, calmness in your mind. Those who have retrograde Mercury natal in their natal chart, they may feel this Mercury retrograde more intensely, and they can relate more, because those who have retrograde planets and the transition of those planets becomes retrograde, they feel more contented, or connected, because they feel more synchronized. So for Ashlesha native, also worshipping Shri Krishna is also a very good remedy. It will also work like boon. And even you can worship Neelkanteshwar Mahadev, because the Ashlesha is inflicting poison. So the Ashleshan Shakti, Visha Ashleshan Shakti, the Shivji has stored the halahal in, or drank the halahal and kept here in the throat chakra. So he has that capacity. We cannot, but that element of Shivji, we can learn from him, that we can also try to balance it here and use it for good in this time period. So whatever weakness and whatever lackings you feel, you need to accept that graciously and work on it. So all the best to you. Thank you for listening me patiently.